Today on the Cold Rope, I'm giving you the 3 Ps: production, projection, and personal development that are all essential for a successful transition from youth baseball to showcase ball.
Welcome to the Cold Rope Show, your number one source for tips, trends, and advice to make sure your baseball journey goes totally right. And now, here's your host, Travel Ball Dad, making it all make sense.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cold Rope Podcast, your number one source in navigating your travel ball journey. I'm Archie Herring, a.k.a. Travel Ball Dad, giving you tips, trends, and advice to help make sure your travel ball journey goes totally right. My son and I have been through the showcase journey, and I'm trying to help you just make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
That's right, just make it make sense. If you gain value with this information, make sure that you subscribe to our podcast and press that subscribe and notification button right here on YouTube so that you can get the up-to-date information to help you navigate your travel ball journey. Transitioning to showcase baseball from youth baseball usually begins around 13-14U, and it's at the beginning of high school. Now, it's here where most have those aspirations in playing competitively after high school, in college, or possibly in the big leagues. If not, they would not be investing their time in this sport. They would be investing it in another sport, or they would be skateboarding on the weekends. Players that really want to play and love the game of baseball are still playing now. The others have weeded themselves out and they found something else to do. So now that it's real, you have to make that decision to go all in now. And I want to focus on showcase baseball and what it's all about. And it's all about production, projection, and personal development. In order to reach those goals of playing after high school, you have to grasp and understand this when you're going into showcase ball for the very first time.
Make it make sense, bruh.
Okay, I'll make it make sense. Let's talk about the term showcase baseball, and it's self-explanatory. Showcase baseball. It is essentially designed to play baseball in front of coaches that are searching for talent. And they evaluate that talent in order to make decisions on extending offers to play at their particular school after watching you show off your skill. So thus the term showcase. You are showing off what you can do. And for coaches with recruiting budgets that are being squeezed now, it allows those coaches to be efficient in their evaluations with multiple players to view in one particular showcase location. Then to go and travel all over the whole region chasing down multiple players, they now can have them all at one place. So it's easier for them, and frankly, it's easier for you to get seen. Now, many and most of the showcase formats are done at a university or in and around that area, and you're going to play 3-4 scheduled games on a weekend. You're going to ball out. You're going to go home. There is no seeding. There is no bracket play. You just play and go home. And then, of course, you have those showcase tournaments as well. But the big tournaments are where the decision makers are usually at, and that's where they show up. And contrary from what you hear, they do not scout you at your high school. You want to know why? It's real simple. Because they are in season and they are focused on their current team in college. So it all goes down, the looks, the contacts, the attention, all that starts happening in summer showcase ball. It all goes down in the summer. Now, a normal basic showcase tournament, you're still going to play against good competition. In fact, the intensity and the competitiveness is going to go up a notch from what you're used to in youth travel ball. But parents, listen to what I say. Winning a showcase tournament is not paramount because you are there to showcase your talent, not win a tournament. You need to transition your perspective of what baseball is now versus what it was back at the youth level travel ball mindset. You know, the mindset is so different back then from where it needs to be. Back then, it's everybody hits, everybody plays all the positions, but there needs to be a renewing of the mind, I call it. If you don't, you will be frustrated on this journey from here on out. Now, you and your players' number one objective is for those decision makers that are watching say, hey, who's this guy? Or I like how he plays. I like how he moves. I like how he swings it. So again, showing well in front of the decision makers is the objective, not winning a tournament. And although everybody wants to win and everybody loves to win, that's not the objective. They are here to see you compete. They are here to see you produce. And even at your tournament, if you are getting beat 12-2 in the second inning, you better still be competing and hustling on and off the field, because it's what the recruiters want to see. It's not about winning the tournament. They want to see if you can produce. They also want to see how well do you handle adversity. It's very important that you understand this whole renewing of the mind in this showcase space. Now, in the beginning of the transition period, 14-15U, don't expect to see hundreds of coaches all lined up at these events, because you're just at the beginning of the showcase experience. You're just at the beginning of showcase baseball. That hardcore recruiting and contacting, phone calls, letters by the college coaches, it comes later. It comes when you're in 16U, 17U. But if you understand these three following concepts that I'm getting ready to give you, it's going to put you in a better position, and you're going to be further ahead when that heavy recruiting actually starts. Number one, production. Parents, this is what a lot of you guys do not understand. Showcase baseball is about earning an opportunity to play after high school. And as nice and well-mannered as your baseball player, Little Johnny, is, a coach will not just hand out an offer just because he's a nice guy. They have a job. And as Herm Edwards used to say, you play to win the game. They're playing to win the game. They are looking for athletes and dudes and players that will produce so they can win and they can keep their job. It couldn't be more simpler than that. So now when you step up to that showcase space, everything changes. Get your mind right. Get your mind right. At this production level, it is not okay to have 3, 4, 5 errors in a game. It is not okay not to put the bat on the ball. As a pitcher, it is not okay not to find the strike zone. Now, I'm talking consistently, like 3 weekends in a row, 4 weekends in a row. You're going to have a bad game every night. You're going to have a bad weekend. But the consistency needs to start getting better in this space. It has to get better. It has to be more consistent. It has to be more fluid. It has to be money. Don't worry about where Johnny is hitting in the lineup, but rather, is he barreling the ball up? And is he putting good wood on it? Is he making those plays? Is he putting it in play? That is what is most important to a recruiter, not a 70 hopper to the second baseman where he airs out and Little Johnny gets on base. They don't care about that. They care about, is he barreling that thing up? Is he hitting it hard? Is he pounding the strike zone? Is he getting outs? Don't worry if he only got 2 ground balls playing third base, but rather, was he smooth like butter? Was he showing good lateral movement? Did he make the play at first base, or did he throw it into the nickel seats? And parents, get ready for a different approach in coaching, because now it's all based on production. And now playing a certain position will require Johnny to produce in order to stay there. And here's why. Someone else on that team is trying to get to college just like you. They're trying to get that look just like you. And they paid their money just like you. So if Johnny can't play shortstop, you are wasting their time and you're taking away looks from somebody else on that team. And you're wasting your time too, and you're wasting your money. I'm just keeping it real. You have to understand that there is a different mindset. There's a different approach in coaching when you step up to the showcase stage. Hey guys, I've been through this, and I'm just going to keep it real. It is not time for play when you're at this level. This is the showcase level. If you want play time, you go play rec ball. This showcase level is for those that want to play at a higher level. They want to play at that next level. And there's still rec teams out there. You can get to a rec team. If you want to go ahead and play high school rec ball, fine. That's not a problem. But you have to understand this. The expectations of production and real baseball coaches that really want production, that's what it's all about at the showcase level. You are going to play the best people at those positions. That's what's going to happen on those teams, on those showcase teams. They play their best people at those positions. So you can run to another organization if you want, or you can work and continue to develop and produce and earn your spot based off your production. Let your athlete face some adversity. And if they're not playing where they want to play, then you got to go ahead and tell them to work. Most importantly, make sure they understand from the get-go when they step into this space that, hey, sure, baseball needs to be fun, but now I am at a different level. It comes down to production. Number 2, projection. I'm going to talk about how projection factors into the successful transition. But before I do, I want to let you know we're in this thing together. And I love helping people and giving you the information that helped me and my son get a Division I baseball commitment. So please reach out with any questions or topics you would like more information on, because I do respond to all. And if you think this information is valuable to you and others, make sure you subscribe to our podcast and press that subscribe and notification button right here on YouTube so that you can get the up-to-date information to help you navigate your travel ball journey. Okay, projection. Now, this one is a little rough and it could be sensitive because everyone thinks that they are a shortstop or a catcher or a pitcher, et cetera, et cetera. Well, in showcase baseball, coaches typically have been doing this for a while, and they know what specific schools want, and they have a good idea of what a player is going to project at. Now, what is projection? Simply put, projection is what you will more than likely be when you are fully developed based on your tools and your athleticism now. So typically at this point in your journey, a position change may happen for one reason or another, but it is to increase the chances of your likability in the eyes of the recruiters. You must play at a position where you can excel in. You have to be successful in a position that you ball out in. This normally increases your production. So just don't trip out, don't wig out, don't go crazy if a position change happens to you.
Make it make sense, bruh.
Okay, I'll make it make sense. Position changes happen to over half of the travel ballers. It is normal, but it's how you handle it is most important. It happened to us. It happened to my son. He went from shortstop to center field. He didn't like it. I didn't like it, but he was extremely athletic and he ran a 6'6" at that time when he was in the 9th grade. And I remember those conversations and the feedback from those that have been doing it for a long time, those guys that were baseball guys. And the conversations were kind of like this. Hey, Mr. Travel Ball Dad, listen, your son is as smooth as butter. We understand that. He can make all the plays. He has an incredible knack for lateral movement. He's very athletic. He's gifted. His arm is above average, but he's going to end up being in the outfield because there's a premium for his tool. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? A premium for his tool? They said, Mr. Travel Ball Man, you have to understand that if someone hits a double with him in the outfield, it's going to be a single. If somebody hits a triple with him in the outfield, it's going to be a double. So I heard this from multiple baseball guys, coaches, evaluators. And when I'm talking about coaches, I'm talking about those that are showcase coaches, showcase organizations. And you know what? They were right. They were right. Now, could he have gotten a scholarship to play middle infield? Sure. He probably would have played at a mid-major Division I, Division II, or III, but his goal was to play Division I at a high level and possibly get a shot at the bigs. It was his goal, and he had to make that decision to make that position change with the suggested moves from those coaches, from those baseball guys, from those evaluators. He did it, and it really, really worked out for us. The projection allowed him to increase his value and give him more options with schools because, in his case, everybody wants his tool, speed. Now, in this projection space, this projection phase is where coaches are looking to see if that skill set that athlete has will eventually develop and be a fit for the type of team that particular coach is building or their style of play. And you may have to accept what your projection is going to be and focus on developing that particular area of your game. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You just have to listen to the coaches and the baseball guys because they're going to give you their objective opinion. But I have seen many stubborn players and their families not heed the advice of a position change. And ultimately, that journey was not successful as it could have been. It was not productive. It was not enjoyable. It was not totally right. Listen to what the experts say, listen and gather all that information, and you need to take an objective look at what's going on. And if you're projected somewhere else, you really need to consider it. You are going to be projected somewhere. My advice to you is when they speak, when they talk, when they have that conversation, and if everybody's telling you that, you better go ahead and probably move to that direction if you want to be successful in your recruiting journey and get those offers that you intend to get. Number 3, personal development. Now, overall, you're going to begin to play with teammates that are in other cities and even in other states. And because of the logistics, practices probably will not be as frequent as they used to be. And in fact, you'll probably never practice together. You're probably never going to practice together consistently. So more than likely, you're just going to show up on game day, ball out, and go home. So because of this change in this dynamic of no practice, your development will have to take place on your own. Now, what does that mean? It means lessons. It means lessons. And it means more lessons. It means practicing on your own in order to play at this high level to keep up with the expectations with regards to production. So parents, what I'm going to say is really important. You have to understand this. Don't blame the team if playing time is cut because production is not at a high level. And I used to hear this all the time. I used to hear this particular phrase. I'm getting ready to tell you. I used to hear it all the time from disgruntled parents when their little Johnny was not playing or when playing time was being cut. Here's what they would say. Well, they're just not developing him. Huh? They're just not developing him. Stop it. Just stop it. You are making yourself look ridiculous. And you begin to be that parent that organizations usually don't want to deal with. They kind of start backing off. Organizations talk about parents too. Like, you guys talk about organizations. Well, they talk about parents as well. Understand where you are in your journey, because you could say that back in rec ball, or you could say that back at youth ball, and there would be some validity to it about, hey, they're not developing him, because at that particular age, everybody's going to go out and practice and get developed. But hey, right now, showcase ball, hey, you got to change your mind. By now, it is big boy time. It is showcase time. The roles have changed.
Make it make sense, bruh.
Okay, I'll make it make sense. At this point in your journey, players are expected to do their own player development. The role and the duty of a showcase organization and coach is to put you out there in front of the decision makers and let you do your thing. Let you ball out. Let others see that you are, in fact, that dude, that baller, that home run caller. And your role as a parent is simply to try and find help for your son and support him. Hey, your responsibility is to get Johnny's butt into a cage with a qualified, experienced hitting instructor or a fielding instructor or a pitching coach that knows what they're doing and put the work in. It's a different mentality now, and parents need to stop making excuses. It's not the showcase coach's responsibility. They have enough on their plate, like calling coaches, getting players in positions to show, setting up the pitching rotations, the lineups. So you put that work in, and you put that work in on your own. It's not their responsibility. You need to be ready to produce at this level. You need to be ready to show up, get out the car, run across, put your cleats on, put your bat on, bam, 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 go 4 for 4 and go home. That's what you need to be ready for. That's what your mentality has to be. You have to personally develop. Nobody else is going to do it but you. The success and the failure of a player will be on them, and you have to let them figure this thing out on their own. They have to want to put the work in. You have to support them in whatever way you can, but the personal development, they have to commit to that. They have to commit to doing what they need to do in order to show up and ball out so that they can consistently get those looks and create that buzz so that they can go ahead and be successful in their travel ball journey. So remember, production, projection, and personal development are all essential in a successful transition from youth baseball to showcase ball. Hey, that is it for this episode. Thanks for listening to the Cold Rope Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show today with tips, trends, and advice to help make sure your travel ball journey goes totally right. I am Travel Ball Dad, and I'm just trying to help you make it make sense.
Make it make sense, bruh.
Now, if you thought that I brought value with this information, make sure you subscribe to this podcast and press that subscribe and notification button right here on YouTube so that you can get the up-to-date information of my next show. Join us next time as we will talk about what to look for in a showcase organization. Travel Ball Dad signing off. I am Travel Ball Dad because I have seen it all in travel ball.